Oh, yeah. Is it Thursday already? Okay. Henry Cavill coming to Star Wars? I feel like we've heard this again. Is this deja vu? Am I getting deja vu, chat? Or have we heard this before? Okay. Not only is Henry Cavill coming back, but the glimmer of hope for fans who are still holding out that the Acolyte Season 2 could still happen. Well, I got some good news for those people, as we got some insane stuff to get into today. Last week was Ryan Gosling. This week is Henry Cavill. We got a lot to get into and not a lot of time, so without further ado, let's dive into all of it. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine Thursday? It's Thursday afternoon. Okay, so we got a lot to get into. Henry Cavill coming to Star Wars. Well, what the heck did I just do? What? No, stay there. That's what we want. Henry Cavill coming to Star Wars. Okay, let's talk about it. We're going to talk about all this. But last week, it was Ryan Gosling. This week, it is Henry Cavill. So what in the bleepity bleep is going on here? Wait, what just happened? What just happened, chat? I don't know. What just... Are we good? Is the live stream still good? I think we're good. I don't know what just happened, but something on my end just went kaboom. So I think we're good. Are we good, chat? We're doing good? Okay. All right, we're good. Never mind. All right, let's talk about it. We got some crazy news to get into today, but not only that, this is, in fact, the last stream of the month, which means for all you members out there, we have a giveaway today. So if you're not yet a member on this channel, you have a chance to join right now and steal this giveaway from one of the other 90 some odd awesome, cool members that we have now. So I think it's only right when we are talking about, I guess, the future of Star Wars content. We're talking about what's going to happen in the animated realm of Star Wars, because there's no animated shows on the horizon. We are talking about one character in particular today that we're going to give away their helmet, and their character's end is still up for debate, and possibly what the next animated Star Wars show could be following. So I'll leave you with that. Any guesses? Any guesses on what we are giving away today, chat? Any guesses? This one's pretty cool, honestly. Not gonna lie. It's pretty damn cool. Two new animated shows are expected to be announced in April. That's true. Yes. And we will talk about that a little bit today as well, because Star Wars Celebration is coming up. It's coming up real quick. So what those two new animated shows might be about, well, this character might be involved with one of them. Captain Rex helmet. No, we gave away the Captain Rex helmet last month, maybe? The month before? I'm not too sure. No, not Rex. Not Rex. Giving away some free laughs. Well, I do that every day. Bo-Katan helmet. No. Closer with Rex. Giving away a saber. Not this month. We got to get to enough members to where it's, I guess, lightsabers are expensive. Commander Cody. Okay, Pam Hill got it right. Today we're giving away a Commander Cody helmet from Art Sabers. This thing is badass as hell. Look at it. It's so cool. But that will happen later on in the stream when we do the giveaway. So if you are not yet a member, you have a chance to still join and become a member during this stream and steal it away from one of the other 90 members or 90 plus members that we have so far. Can we get up to triple digits members? That would be absolutely insane. But right now we are around, I think, 90 members. I'm not too sure. I'll have to check it out. But this is the giveaway later on in tonight's live stream. So if you want a 1 in 90-ish chance to win this Commander Cody and you want to just support the channel, think about becoming a member. It's the best way to support the channel, as I have said before. Okay, But let's get to the good news here. Let's get to the news. And yes, it is just a rumor for now, but Henry Cavill coming to Star Wars. Now, before we do this, I want to put up a poll in the chat before we read this news. Oh, wait, we haven't even said hi to anybody in the chat yet. Hang on, chat. Let's say hi to everybody first things first. Jack, what is up? Justin, how we doing? WUV grad in the house. Starship 66, how we doing? Fearless, what is up? Chris, how we doing? Freddie in the house. Von Go, what is up? Rachel, how we doing? Holly, what is up? Aaron, how we doing? I Haja in the house. 730 Evie, how we doing? B-Man, what's up? Peter, how we doing? The Fight of Faith, what is up? Thomas, how we doing? Pam Hill in the house. Christopher, what's up? If I missed you, you know the deal. Just yell at me in the chat. Let's give everybody a nice little
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Okay, so if you haven't smashed a freaking like on this stream, then do so. But let's put up a poll in the chat. Do you want Henry Cavill to come to Star Wars? Do you want the man who played Superman in The Witcher and a lot of other roles, but the man who played Superman to come over and be in Star Wars? Tell me what you think in the chat, and of course, vote on that poll. And let's talk about this rumor, because right now it still is just a rumor. But this isn't the first time we've talked about this, and it's attached to a project or projects that we've been talking about before. A new trilogy for Star Wars. Now, when you look out at the horizon for upcoming Star Wars movies, you got The Mandalorian and Grogu, you got The Dawn of the Jedi, you got the Rey movie, and I think all of them are going to be the beginnings of new trilogies. However, this trilogy we're talking about today has nothing to do with any of them, as far as we're aware. Okay? Okay. And yes, who Henry Cavill is going to be playing, whether he's a Jedi or a Sith, a good guy or a villain, we don't know yet, but the rumor is villain. So keep that in the back of your head as we go along here. Hang on. Okay, let's do this. What the hell's going on my freaking phone here? Okay, sorry. I fixed it. All right, let's do this. So this rumor is first coming from comicbook.movie.com. Easy for me to say. And it is just a rumor for now. Just like Ryan Gosling coming on for Sean Levy's movie that we talked about last weekend. Still a rumor for now. Just like we talked about Natalie Portman coming back in Ahsoka Season 2. Just a rumor for now. Just like Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen, Ariana Greenblatt coming back to play their respective roles in Ahsoka Season 2. Just a rumor for now. So take it with a giant grain of salt. In no way, shape, or form am I saying that Henry Cavill is 100% going to be in any Star Wars project coming up. It is just a rumor for now. So keep that in mind as we read this, okay? Star Wars rumor roundup. Henry Cavill in talks. Natalie Portman cut from Kenobi. We talked about this a little bit last stream, but I want to talk about it again. And more. All right. A few Star Wars related rumors have been doing the rounds online over the past few days, but since most of them really serve more as updates on previous reports, we've gathered them all together for some sort of roundup. Perfect. That's what we want to see. We'll start with the most recent report that Ewan McGregor is set to return as Obi-Wan Kenobi for the second season of Ahsoka. We talked about this last stream, but that seems to be the most likely of these rumors. It seems like Ewan McGregor, of course, has been very vocal about wanting to come back and play Obi-Wan Kenobi a lot more. So Kenobi Season 2 doesn't really seem like it's going to be happening. So at that point, you're going to have to integrate Obi-Wan into other projects. And Ahsoka Season 2 seems like the easiest one to do so. Ahsoka Season 1, we already got Ahsoka and Anakin in the Clone Wars flashbacks through the World Between Worlds. I don't think Season 2 will be the World Between Worlds. I just don't. I think it's far more likely that it will be a flashback or Ahsoka remembering the Mortis God arc, and that will involve Obi-Wan, Anakin, and young Ahsoka. But Daniel Rickman claims to have confirmed that the Scottish actor will indeed appear as the legendary Jedi Master, but we are not sure exactly how the character will factor into the story. Now, we debated on this last stream as well. Could Obi-Wan be a Force ghost in Ahsoka Season 2? I think it's very less likely, but not out of the realm of possibility. Okay. Since Ahsoka is part of the Mandoverse, so-called Mandoverse, and takes place long after Obi-Wan Kenobi's death in A New Hope, we assume he would either be a Force ghost or he would appear to Ahsoka Tano in the World Between Worlds, as Anakin did in Season 1. I don't think this is going to be the case. They're leaving out a third option, and that is just flashbacks. The World Between Worlds is something that needs to be used very, very scarcely. Is it scarcely a word? Sure it is. It shouldn't be used much at all. I think the mystery about it, like Yoda's species and all that stuff, like that should be a mystery that continues for the rest of time. Yeah. But next up, oh, what the hell? Go back. No, wait. No, I just closed one of my other tabs. Damn it. Hang on. Son of a nutcracker. Chat, what's going on in this stream today? Oh, I fixed it. Don't worry, chat. I fixed it. All right. Let's go back here. God. Jeez. All right. Let's watch this. War Between Worlds. All right. Next up, the Hot Mic's Jeff Snyder has heard that Natalie Portman actually shot at least one scene as Padme Amidala for Disney Plus's Obi-Wan Kenobi series, but it never made the cut. That's still crazy to me. If accurate, this could lend support to the recent scuttlebutt that Thor Love and Thunder star Natalie Portman will reprise her role in Ahsoka Season 2, but Lucasfilm has denied these rumors. Of course they did, because why would they tell us the truth? This is crazy to me. The rumor is, or at least the report is from Jeff Snyder, who's a very reliable source, as we know, says that Natalie Portman actually shot scenes, or at least one scene, for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And that scene was cut. That's pretty strange to me. What do we think about this, chat? Should Padme Amidala have been in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series? I think so. I certainly think so, but tell me what you think in the chat. Tell me what you think. Adam says no A-listers in Star Wars. Well, Natalie Portman, although an A-lister, she became an A-lister because she was in Star... Oh, you're talking to Henry Cavill, maybe? Okay. Sarah says, I would really like to see Ariana Greenblatt return to Star Wars. She played a young Ahsoka brilliantly. I agree. I mean, she was fantastic as young Ahsoka in that one sequence in Episode 5. Bring her back. Why not? Here's the deal. You got Ariana Greenblatt, who's only going to get older, of course, and you have her at the perfect age where you can do young Ahsoka stuff. Do it now. Do it now while you can. Because you're not going to go back and make a Clone Wars movie. As much as people want to see a live-action Clone Wars movie, it's never going to happen. You're not going to just retell the same story over again. It's just not going to happen. Sorry, but it's not. But to give us the Mortis God arc, or just glimpses of it in live action, because Ahsoka forgets it, and now you can have her remember and give us Hayden, Ewan, Ariana as those characters, that's an opportunity you don't want to miss. Yeah. That's something you don't want to miss. For sure. But let's keep going. So Natalie Portman shot a scene, supposedly, in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and it was cut. This leads us to believe that it's a lot more likely now that she could appear in Ahsoka Season 2. But like I just mentioned, if you're doing a Mortis God arc, guess who wasn't on Mortis? Padme Amidala. So how would Padme sort of come into the story at all in Ahsoka Season 2? I don't know. Obviously, she's been long dead for a long time. It would have to be in flashbacks that weren't connected to the Mortis gods. I really don't know. I have no idea how they would do it, but Only time will tell, I guess. Only time will tell. All right, tell me in the chat. Do you think that Padme Amidala should, not will, should appear in Ahsoka Season 2? What do we think? To me, it seems like a no. I don't think she should. I think it would make way more sense to tell the Mortis God arc. Just way more sense. And Padme's not there for that. I don't know, chat. What do we think? Should Padme Amidala be in Ahsoka Season 2? Yes or no? What do we think, chat? Wow, we were pretty split on this one. This is a pretty split bag here. This is literally like, it's yes, yes, no, 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 yes, yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes, no, no, yes. What are we doing, chat? Is it a yes or is it a no? What are we doing, chat? Do we have to poll this up? I don't want to end my Henry Cavill poll because we haven't even gotten to Henry Cavill yet. We're pretty split on this. We are pretty split down the middle on this one. I got to agree with the no's. I don't think that Padme Amidala needs to be in the Ahsoka Season 2. I think you can bring you can bring Padme back in some other project. I think Kenobi would have been the best spot, but they cut her scene. I don't know. I'd be surprised if she was in Ahsoka Season 2. I wouldn't be against it, obviously. Seeing Padme back, seeing Natalie Portman back would be fantastic, but it seems not bloody likely. All right, let's keep going, though. So, moving on to the big screen corner of the galaxy far, far away, and MTTSH. I got to click on this. Oh, there you go. My time to shine. Hello. So, here's the thing. We're talking about this today because it's coming from not so reliable sources. We'll put it that way. Like the reports of Ryan Gosling being in Star Wars, the reports of Natalie Portman and all that stuff, those were really from reliable sources. This is starting to come out more and more and more as the day goes on. But right now, it's not at the point where I would even say I'm anywhere close to sure that this is happening. Now, is Henry Cavill a huge nerd who loves Star Wars? Yes. Would he love to come to Star Wars? Well, we're about to read this in a second, what he had to say about that. But we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes at Lucasfilm. There is 1,000,001 projects currently in development, some further along than others, obviously. But is Henry Cavill attached to any of them? I'm going to say not yet. Right now? Well, let's read this, okay? Let's read it. They're reporting that Henry Cavill, Man of Steel, of course, Deadpool and Wolverine, is now in talks for an undisclosed role in an upcoming Star Wars movie. This follows a previous rumor that Henry Cavill was being eyed for a part in a new Star Wars trilogy that Simon Kinberg was tapped to write and produce last year. Give me a 1 into the chat if you remember this whole Simon Kinberg type dealio. It was probably in November or October of last year. I'm not really too sure. I think it was before Skeleton Crew aired, so it was a while ago. But we talked about how Simon Kinberg has been brought on to not just write one Star Wars film, but an entire trilogy. And there was a really mixed reaction to this news. Simon Kinberg, his sort of, I guess, discography, easy for me to say, is one that's kind of good and bad. Let's take a look at this. So when you look at Simon Kinberg's movies and TV shows, I guess, he's got some incredible ones, and then he's got some not so incredible ones. So let's take a look here. So this is Simon Kinberg, and this is his movies and shows. There we go. So you got some pretty bad ones like Dark Phoenix, of course, that really did badly. But you also have all of the other X-Men movies that performed extremely well. First Class, Days of Future Past. Apocalypse is kind of a shaky one at best. And then you have this Fantastic Four movie, which is not the original ones, but the newer ones that people really, really didn't like. And then you have stuff like Logan, Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, and of course, yes, Star Wars Rebels. So I've said this a million different times when it comes to Star Wars projects and who's going to direct and who's going to write on a Star Wars project. There is nothing more important, literally nothing more important, to a new creator coming onto Star Wars than experience with Star Wars. If you have experience creating Star Wars in the past and it is good Star Wars, you immediately have my attention. You immediately have the majority of the fan base's love and admiration because you've already proven yourself to be a success. So it's a conversation we keep having with the Rey movie with Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, who doesn't really have much experience with filming movies at all, but also no experience with Star Wars. And I always say, what better way to do it with a Disney Plus show? You have 8 episodes of a Disney Plus show coming out every single year, at least, sometimes 16 episodes. Why not just have a director like Sharmeen just direct an episode of Ahsoka Season 2? Prove to the Star Wars fans that she's really good at directing this whole Star Wars thing, and then you have fans who hear her name attached to a movie go, okay, I remember that episode from Ahsoka Season 2, I loved it, and now I'm going to go love this movie. It's the same conversation that we had about Simon Kinberg. Not only did he co-create with, not co-write, co-create with Dave Filoni, Star Wars Rebels, which is one of the greatest Star Wars shows of all time. That gives him all of the Star Wars experience that you could possibly ask for a guy who's getting his own trilogy. So you guys know how much of a Star Wars Rebels fan I am, okay? You know that. But the fact of the matter is this. The guy co-created the show with Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni's now getting his own movie, which is fantastic. It's his first ever live action movie because he was a full-on animated guy. But Simon Kinberg is not. Look at this. Look at these movies that he's done. Like, he's been in the live action movie realm for decades. The Martian, Deadpool Wolverine, the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr., Logan. The guy knows how to make a movie. Or write a movie, I should say. So to have this guy not only have the experience with box office, like absolute explosive box office movies, billion-dollar movies, he also has the experience with Star Wars. Now, with all this being said, Simon Kinberg seems like the perfect bet for another trilogy. With this being said, we don't know what this trilogy is about. We don't know when it takes place on the Star Wars timeline. But the rumor we're talking about today is that Henry Cavill is being eyed to play a big part in this Simon Kinberg trilogy. Now that just alone right there is insane. Last week, we sat here and we talked about Ryan Gosling coming on to, what's his name? Sean Levy. Sean Levy's Star Wars movie. And how that would be absolutely insane. Star Wars bringing over these massive names still to this day, 50 years or 40 whatever years later, 48 years later. Now you're talking about Henry Cavill coming over to play a major role in the upcoming Simon Kinberg Star Wars trilogy. Now, yes, it is just a rumor for now, but if any of this comes to fruition, Gosling or Cavill, we're talking big names. Not just like nobodies. We're talking enormous names. Now, does Henry Cavill want to come to Star Wars? That's a big question. He's a big nerd. Everybody knows that Henry Cavill's a huge nerd. He loves Warhammer 40K. He loves The Witcher. He loves all these things. Does he love Star Wars? Well, let's ask him. Henry Cavill had this to say about his appreciation for Star Wars several years ago. As he said this, "I am a fan of them." And this was, of course, being asked if he would ever be in Star Wars. And he said, "I would have to read the script and speak to the director before I could possibly say if I'd be interested in being in the movie. It's not as simple as, yes, it'd be fun and ideal, but what if the script sucks? You got to keep your fingers crossed that it works." So this is what you want to hear. This is what you want to hear from your creators, from your actors. If the script sucks, he's going to say no. So here's the deal. If come Star Wars Celebration, they waltz out on stage with Henry Cavill and Simon Kinberg announcing the next Star Wars trilogy, then we know that the script didn't suck and that Henry Cavill is signed on to be in 3 Star Wars movies. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen. It's still just a rumor for now. But it proves to us, the point being, Star Wars is still the end-all, be-all for actors and writers and directors in Hollywood. Maybe not all of them, obviously. You have your directors who are very against the whole sci-fi realm. But it seemed like for about a decade, Marvel was the place to go. The MCU clearly had a crazy run from 2008 to 2019, but that run has sort of come to an end. I still like some Marvel projects now, but here's the deal. Star Wars is still the top dog. You still want the people to want to come to Star Wars. The best creators in the world, the best actors in the world. That's who you want. And from Ryan Gosling last week to Henry Cavill this week, what's next week? Tom Cruise? No, I'm kidding. But this is the good news. This is the good news. It's just a rumor for now, but tell me in the chat, do you want Henry Cavill to be in Star Wars? Let's hear it, chat.
This is where the fun begins.
Let's hear it. And if not, why? Okay. Writer number 2 quit for for the Rey movie. Well, they're on writer number 4, I think, now. Writer number 4. Is it 4? Yeah. So the guy we talked about last week, George Nolfi, whatever his name was, he's the 4th writer, I believe. Yeah. Star Wars Politics says, I can't keep track of all these new projects and rumors and trilogies. It's a lot. When you look at sort of all the announced, because some of them haven't really been announced, but Star Wars movies that are in the works. Yes, you have the Mandalorian Grogu movie, which is already done filming, but you have Dawn of the Jedi, the Rey movie, Sean Levy's movie, Dave Filoni's Mando movie, Taika's movie. Is that still really a thing? We don't know, but it's still technically a movie that was announced at some point. Then you got Simon Kinberg's Trilogy, which is 3 movies. You're up to 9 already. Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron is technically still in development somewhere. That's 10 movies. Is that it? Is that all, chat? I think it is. So right there, you got 10 Star Wars movies. Some confirmed, some not confirmed. Some in production, some not in production. Some writing a script, some not even writing a script. Like, there's a lot of different things going on here, for sure. Yeah. I missed a member chat, I think, up here. Yeah. Hodge with a 7-month membership, holy crap, says, the Acolyte trilogy. Nice. He bad guy, I have spoken. 7 fabulous months of membership. May the force be with you. I appreciate that, Hodge. 7 months is absolutely insane. I appreciate it. I really, really do. Okay. But where was I? Adam says, nobody loves Rebels more than me. I rewatch it on a weekly basis. My hat off to you. I love Rebels, but I'm definitely not watching it on a weekly basis. I'm watching Rebels right now. Season 2 episode with Princess Leia. That's awesome. That's a good one. Kenobi's Corner, what's up? What is up? Oh, I forgot to mention this, guys. Came out yesterday now. But yesterday, I was on Star Wars Jedi Chat podcast And we had a blast on there. I was talking with Ron and Nick, and we had an incredible conversation. So if you've not checked that out, go check out our conversation. The link is the link is actually not in the description of this, but it's in the Discord. If you are not yet in the Discord, there's a link in the description below to a Discord called The People Who Love Star Wars. Go join it immediately. But yeah, go check out that chat. Oh, Darth Plagueis lives with a very generous $5 holla. I appreciate that, Darth Plagueis. I really, really do. Says, looks like Star Wars can still pull the big names. Yeah, I mean, that's the good news. They've been pulling big names for forever, and that seems to be the case still. So that's great news. Yeah. Could Henry Cavill voice Darth Plagueis? I mean, yes, he could in theory, but I'm going to say no because you got Henry Cavill. You're going to want to show his face. You know, Henry Cavill is a very, very well-known actor in Hollywood, and if you're going to bring him into the movies, you're going to want to show his face and his body and make him something powerful. Now let's sit here and let's speculate for a second, chat. If Henry Cavill does come to Star Wars, what role, if a Legends character or whatever, do you want him to play? I got another article here that talks about him being a villain in Star Wars. So let's talk about this. Tell me in the chat what role you want to see Henry Cavill play as we go over this. Star Wars, Henry Cavill rumored to be a villain role after he, of course, played Superman. Henry Cavill is reportedly in talks with Lucasfilm for a villain role in the upcoming Star Wars project. Not a hero like he usually plays, like a Superman. Of course, the hero in Superman. But a villain. I'm seeing a lot of Darth Banes actually in the chat. That's a pretty good one. I didn't even think of that. You know who I was thinking? I was thinking Darth Krayt. Darth Krayt, Darth Bane, they're both like big, muscular Sith. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'd like either one, honestly. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, but according to industry insider Scooper, hello, My Time to Shine, hello, the studio has discussed a potential role with the actor, though not official confirmation. No official confirmation has been made by Lucasfilm. Henry Cavill's character could appear in one of Lucasfilm's planned films, including Simon Kinberg's rumored Trilogy, Dave Filoni's crossover event, and other major productions in development. Henry Cavill could be a Star Wars villain after Wolverine and Superman. That's right, he played Wolverine in Deadpool and Wolverine. Spoiler alert. Henry Cavill is reportedly in discussions with Lucasfilm for a role in the upcoming Star Wars project. So here's the tweet itself. The role Cavill is in talks about with Lucasfilm is a villain role. Lucasfilm has not confirmed these talks, of course, they never do. But the rumors have gained traction as the studio continues expanding its cinematic universe with multiple new projects. Lucasfilm had multiple Star Wars films in development, including James Mangold's Origin of the Force movie, or Origins of the Jedi movie, Dave Filoni's New Republic era crossover, Sharmeen Obed Chinoy's film set 15 years after The Rise of Skywalker, and Simon Kinberg, co-creator of Star Wars Rebels, is also developing a new trilogy. However, there's no confirmation regarding Henry Cavill's involvement in any specific project. Again, this is all just a rumor for now. He recently appeared in as Wolverine as a variant in Deadpool and Wolverine. His sci-fi and fantasy roles also include leading in the upcoming Highlander reboot and producing and starring in Warhammer 40K. In 2016, he expressed interest in Star Wars, stating, "I secretly want to be a bad guy in Star Wars." So when you get an actor of this caliber say something like this, I mean, when did Man of Steel release? Chat, do we know when the Man of Steel released his Superman movie? Was it 2013? 14? It was around that time. I think it was 2014, but I could be wrong. Everybody relax. Henry hasn't been confirmed. I think I've probably said that 30 times this stream, but yeah. It's 2013. Okay. 2013. I was pretty close. I said, what, 2014? Yeah. All right. So 2013, damn it, 2013, Man of Steel comes out. He's the Superman. He, of course, does Batman vs. Superman, the Justice League, all that stuff. And right in that sort of big hype where he's playing the hero, like Superman is the good guy, he says he secretly wants to be a bad guy in Star Wars. Now, usually when something like this happens, fans get behind it and make it something that happens. You look at Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano right now. Fans made that happen. Some fan made an edit of a post of Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano. It went crazy viral, and fans made that happen. Now, this isn't nearly as crazy as what happened with Rosario, but is it possible that he sort of spoke himself into this role, secretly wanting to be a bad guy in Star Wars? There's plenty of villain roles coming up in upcoming Star Wars movies. The lack of villains moving forward is a problem. Palpatine is such a good villain. Vader is such a good villain that moving past those two and setting up a new villain is going to look bad in comparison. So setting up a new villain that has to be on the same stage, on the same level as those villains that came before, whether it's a Sith or not, is very, very hard to do. So Henry Cavill as the role is definitely not going to hurt. We'll put it that way. Yeah. They also report fueled speculation about Henry Cavill's potential casting as a Star Wars villain, as Lucasfilm is developing multiple new films to expand the franchise. Discussions about his involvement continue though the studio has not officially confirmed his role, the project that he may join, or any details about his character. So again, nothing confirmed. All just a rumor for now. But as was Ryan Gosling signing on last week to Sean Levy's movie, everything we're talking about right now is just rumor. And it's always a rumor until it gets confirmed by Lucasfilm. And here's the deal. In April, from April 18th to April 20th, is Star Wars Celebration this year. And we are going to get an insane amount of announcements at that event. And when I say insane amount of announcements, I'm talking like multiple live action shows, multiple animated shows, multiple movies. It's going to be probably the biggest Star Wars Celebration that's ever happened, because currently all these speculations that we're going over, all these trilogies and spin-off movies and spin-off shows and all that stuff, they have not been announced yet, like actually announced by Lucasfilm. Although we know that they're happening, or we think that they're happening, they haven't officially been announced. They haven't walked out on stage and announced this big new trilogy or big new movie or big new show or anything like that. So that will all happen. It will all be confirmed in a couple months. And that's what we're getting hyped up about. But with all that being said, do you want Henry Cavill to be in Star Wars? What do we think? So with all these rumors being speculated about possibly being in Simon Kinberg's new trilogy, do you want Henry Cavill to play a villain in an upcoming Star Wars project? And I saw a lot of Darth Banes in the chat. A lot of Darth Banes. But he could be anybody, really. He doesn't have to be a Sith Lord. He could be a bounty hunter. He could be anybody, I guess. Yeah. What if, and somebody brought this up to me off screen. I haven't seen it in the chat yet. But what about Marchion Ro? Give me a 1 into the chat if you know who Marchion Ro is. Am I going to, will I be at Star Wars Celebration? No. I'm not going to Star Wars Celebration this year. I really thought about it because I was offered a ticket by actually a couple people now. And I said no both times because I think it's better for me to stay here and cover it. Yeah, I think there's going to be a shit ton of announcements that I need to cover. And if I don't have my PC, if I don't have my whole setup here, I'm not going to be able to do that if I'm in Japan. So I think I'm going to just stay here. Yes, it would be cool to go to Star Wars Celebration, and maybe I'll get to the next one. But this one, I think I'm going to have a better time covering from home. Yeah. All right, we got some ones in the chat, but some people don't know who that is. All right, so Marchion Ro is the leader of the Nihil. And the Nihil, or the Nihil, but the Nihil are the bad guys of the High Republic era. In the High Republic, it's just a couple hundreds of years before the prequel trilogy. It's after the Old Republic, but before the Republic of the prequel trilogy. So it's the in-between. It's the height of the Jedi, when all peace in the galaxy, no Sith around. But there is a villain, or there are villains in that world with no Sith involved. And that is the Nihil. And the leader of the Nihil is a character named Marchion Ro. Now, Marchion Ro is this bigger character. He's got this mask on. He's this really big dude. I think Henry Cavill would fit that role very, very well. But I don't know if they are going to focus on the High Republic era. It seems like they aren't, because right now the books are coming to an end. The last book, I believe, releases this year of the 3 phases of the High Republic era. And it doesn't seem, because of what happened with the Acolyte, it doesn't seem like they're going to continue telling stories in that High Republic era. At least, to me, not yet. Not yet. But, I mean, you look at the poll right now, 85% of you guys say yes, you want to see Henry Cavill in Star Wars. I got to agree with you. I think seeing a character of that caliber, an actor of that caliber in Star Wars, especially as a villain, when you need a big-time villain to sort of one-up Palpatine, obviously that's nearly impossible, but creating a new villain that's badass is very, very hard to do. And with Henry Cavill, it might be a little bit easier. Just a little bit. Now, speaking of really, really good villains, I'm sure you noticed in the thumbnail of this video, there's a character by the name of Chimere. Also, probably not his name, but the Stranger from The Acolyte. Now, The Acolyte Season 2 is still canceled. There's a lot of fans that are still holding out hope for a second season of this show. There's still a lot of fans who really, really definitely don't want to see a second season of this show. However, the hope is sort of brought back to life with the numbers that were released over the weekend from 2024's streaming numbers on Disney+. Now, we talked about it last stream. We're going to talk about it a little bit more today and what this means for the future of a possible second season of The Acolyte, or at least a continuation of these characters like Chimere. But when you talk about great villains in Star Wars, Chimere is in that conversation, and he's a brand new character that was just introduced last year into the Star Wars universe. Yeah. Less shows, more movies. I disagree. I think you want to go less movies, more shows to make the movies like a real event type thing. Like, you gotta think about it this way. When you watch the original trilogy, which I didn't in theaters, or the prequel trilogy, which I didn't in theaters, or the sequel trilogy even in theaters, it's an event because it's an entire thing you're waiting for 6 or 9 even years. There's 3 years or 2 years in between movies, or at least a year in between movies for the sequel trilogy. And you have to wait. And it's that anticipation of the movie that gets you more and more excited and more people to go see it. So I think if you are going to do a lot of movies, which they clearly plan on doing, you have to space them out in a way where you're not doing what Marvel did, where they're doing 3-4 movies a year and nobody really cares. 1 movie a year, I think, is perfect, especially for Star Wars. I think it's one big event at the end of the year or in the middle of the year. It doesn't matter when, but just 1 movie a year, it becomes an event. People look forward to that one thing a year. You can still have the shows to go along with it, the animated shows, the live action shows. It'll be great. But 1 movie a year, I think, is the sort of the sweet spot for the balance between movies and shows. Maybe 2 shows a year, an animated one, a live action one, and a movie. If we get to the point as Star Wars fans where we're getting 1 animated show, 1 live action show, and 1 movie every year, that's the sweet spot. To me, that is perfection. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me Catch up on the chat. I appreciate it, Darth Plagueis. I really, really do. The super chat, very, very generous. Super chats, memberships, keep the lights on over here. And of course, we have a giveaway later on in this stream. So if you are not yet a member, you can join and steal this awesome, cool helmet away from a member, Commander Cody's helmet. So yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. 2 series with minimum 10 episodes, more than 40 minutes per episode, and 1 huge movie. That's never going to happen. It'll probably be the 8 episodes, 30 to 40-minute episodes, and 1 big movie. Yeah. Dominic, what's up? Yeah, exactly. Andre says, the amount of Star Wars shows have saturated the fandom. Disney Plus killed Star Wars. I could not disagree with you anymore. Like, literally, there's a line where you could disagree with somebody. I am past that line on this statement. Disney Plus is the only thing that's keeping Star Wars afloat. It's the only thing. Imagine a world where The Rise of Skywalker came out and we didn't get content for the next 6 years. Can you imagine that? The sequel trilogy ended in 2019, and we didn't get a single piece of Star Wars content until today, 2025. Yeah. It would be dead. Star Wars would be dead. It would be. So I could not, literally could not disagree with you more. Yeah. Yeah. Explore the Force says, very invested in those Acolyte characters. Bummed that it had to all come to an end. Okay, let's talk about the Acolyte for a second. Let's talk about it for a second. Audrey, what's up? Rise of Skywalker was so divisive, it killed it. Along with killing Kylo off was a big mistake. Yes, Rise of Skywalker has a lot of problems. Yes, I agree with that. We'll put it that way. Okay, let's talk about these numbers from the Acolyte, shall we? Hang on. I'm going to pull them up really quickly. Tuesday's live stream, we had... Oh, it was Monday live stream, sorry. Monday's live stream. Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind, then. What the hell, chat? Oh, here we go. Oh, what? Why is it doing this? Stop it. Stop it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. No, this is not it either. What the hell? Why can't I find this, chat? So, on Monday, or maybe it was Sunday, but we talked about it on Monday's live stream. On Monday, we talked about this graph that was released for the most watched Disney Plus shows in 2024. It was by million minutes. And number 2 on the list behind number 1 was Percy Jackson. The show, Percy Jackson, not the movie. Number 2 was The Acolyte. Where the hell is this, Chad? Oh, is it? Aha, found it. Okay. Number 2 was The Acolyte. So this is Disney Plus Top 10 2024. So from the end of 2023 to end of 2024. These were the top watched shows on Disney Plus. Now we went through this already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the top 10 are Star Wars shows, which is fan-frickin-tastic as a Star Wars fan. Again, Disney Plus, Disney Plus, Disney Plus, Disney Plus, Disney Plus, Disney Plus, but it killed Star Wars. Sorry. But what's crazy to me, the craziest part of this, other than The Acolyte being at number 2, was The Mandalorian Season 3 being at number 9. I did not expect that at all, just because of the fandom's reaction to Mando Season 3, but that's still crazy that it's on that list. And awesome that Ahsoka Season 1 is at number 8 on the list. Fan-frickin-tastic. But The Acolyte at number 2 has given fans this sort of hope, this glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel for a second season of this Acolyte series. Now, I could talk about how good The Acolyte is till the cows come home. And sometimes I do. But the cows never come home, so I just keep talking. The Acolyte, whether it should get a second season or not, is hotly debated. The budget it took to create the show, the viewership numbers, the conversation around the Star Wars fandom was so divided that it almost seems completely illogical to make a second season. But here's the deal. There is still millions upon millions of fans that watch this show for over 2.7 billion minutes that want to see a continuation of these characters' stories. Now, is there a solution where maybe we don't get an Acolyte season 2, but we get something else that you guys would be okay with? Like if it was to turn into the Stranger Show or the Plagueis Show or something titled something different than the Acolyte, would that be okay? The problem with that is now you have to market a brand new show and somehow explain how it's connected to the Acolyte, but also not connected to the Acolyte because some fans don't like the Acolyte. The Stranger's origin story. So you call it The Stranger. But then you'd have to call it like The Stranger based off of events that happened in the Acolyte show. You know? Rich says, leave out the witches and the twins, and I'll be down for a sequel of it. I just didn't like the witches and the stuff with the witches. Okay, I get that. Well, the witches, I get that, but here's the deal. The witches were the probably most important piece of that entire show. Obviously, they created these twins with the Force, or with their magic, I guess. Yeah. 2 more seasons, The Apprentice and then The Master. The problem is, if they call it The Acolyte Season 2, then immediately they have a portion of the fandom that's not going to watch it and are immediately going to crap on it before it even airs. Immediately. Not even give it a chance. Just like the first season happened. So, it's really tough to do that. Yeah. More focus on the Stranger with minor stuff about the Jedi. Possibly with his past involvement with the Jedi. We only need Osha in the series, though. May should be in prison. Well, no. How the first season ended, it was almost like May was going to help Vanestra go sort of find Chimera and her sister. Yeah. Indeed. We were having a crazy conversation about this Rebel Sith. Shout out to Rebel Sith in the Discord. If you guys are not yet in that Discord, go check it out. But in the Discord, Darth Plagueis showing up at the end of that show means so much more than it could ever possibly imagine. Like, ever. Because according to Manny Jacinto, who plays Chimera, Plagueis is not his master, at least not yet. In the description of the show, according to Dave Filoni and Leslie Headland, when they sat down and talked about it, was that an apprentice of the rule of 2 is always looking for a new apprentice for themselves to overthrow their master. And that apprentice of the apprentice is called the Acolyte, and that is the name of this show. Now, the conversation that was brought up was, what if Plagueis is not the master of Chimera, at least not yet, and the ending scene of that show where Plagueis is standing there watching them, or at least the scene where Plagueis is in the finale, was not Plagueis watching over his Padawan, or his apprentice, but was actually him looking for an apprentice in Chimera because he heard or felt through the Force what happened on Kofar in the forest. He felt that through the Force. So he came to find this dark side user to team up to overthrow his master of Darth Tenebris. Now that theory alone got me so hyped up for what a possible Acolyte Season 2 would look like. Plagueis coming to recruit either Osha or Chimera, but can't be both. So the two of them would have to sort of fight it out for who's going to be the apprentice. And honestly, It wouldn't be a one-on-one because obviously Chimera would win. He's way more powerful. But I think Chimera would lose because Osha has the knowledge of how she was created using the Force, a virgins in the Force, if you will. And Plagueis is so obsessed with trying to figure out how to live forever and create things with the Force like Osha and May were. And that's sort of how Anakin gets created later down the line. Again, it's not explained fully in canon, but eventually it could be. But what if a second season of The Acolyte was Plagueis recruiting Chimera as his apprentice to overthrow Tenebris? The Jedi's involvement would be very small. It would be Venestra Rowe trying to figure out how her former Padawan is still alive, because her former Padawan is Chimera, and we'd get the backstory of that. But the majority of the show would be involved with Tenebris, Plagueis, Chimera, Osha, all Sith, all day long, with a hint of Jedi involved in it. The first season is just introducing the Virgins of the Force, introducing how it's possible for the witches to have created these two twins and having one of those twins turn to the dark side with Osha. This incredible fall to the dark side of this twin who was the good twin at first. And then the second season would be becoming the Acolyte, or becoming Plagueis' apprentice, and then overthrowing Tenebris. And season 3 would just be, I don't even know. Yeah. Rich says, that would be great, but Jedi can't know or need to be killed off. Well, yeah, it'd be the same as season 1. Every Jedi, whoever comes into contact with them or knows about them, needs to die. And that's exactly what happened in season 1, except for Venestra. But the reason that Venestra can live is because Chimera was her former Padawan, and she's not going to tell the Jedi Order about that because we don't know what their history was, but something clearly happened there. Yeah. Adam says, Legends... Wait, what? Tenebris would die from a rock stabbing him? Okay, but again, we're talking Legends here. Yeah. But the Jedi know... But the Jedi know that Jedi are dying. So they know that there are Sith? Well, no. I mean, that's what the whole last episode is about. They framed the entire thing on Sol. Sol killed all the Jedi in the forests, according to Venestra, who tells the Jedi. Yeah. Indeed. I also wonder what she told Yoda. Well, that's pretty cool too, because Yoda, obviously, he's the key to all of this. At some point later down the line, 100 years later, in the prequel trilogy, he's the guy who neglects the Chosen One. He's the guy who, Anakin comes to him talking about these dreams that he has of his mom dying and all this stuff, and Yoda's like, you're good, buddy. No, you're fine. You're fine. And then, of course, Anakin falls to the dark side. But Yoda sees all of this. Yoda is there from the beginning. He sees the fall of the Jedi Order, how they've become so corrupted by the dark side and blinded by their just faith of the Jedi way. And he sees how Order 66 came to be. He didn't do anything to stop it because he couldn't. He didn't know it was coming. Well, yeah. There you go. Why is this... Why is the Acolyte the Acolyte? Exactly, it breaks canon. But isn't Chimera already a Sith? I don't know what you're talking about. There hasn't been a Sith for a millennium. Okay, Adam. Here's the deal. There hasn't been a Sith in a millennium is what Ki-Adi-Mundi says in the prequel trilogy. You're absolutely correct. But we are talking about Plagueis, his master Tenebris, and his master, and his master, and his master. And his... The only reason that the Jedi think that the Sith have been extinct for a millennium is because the rule of two was put into place a millennium ago. So the Sith are still around. They're just in hiding. Yeah. Carry On says, there were hundreds that know Sol was on Coruscant when the Jedi were murdered. So it was obviously something else that happened? What do you mean? Sol was in the forest with them when they got murdered. The dark side still exists without the Sith. Yes, but the Sith were still around. For the millennium that the Sith were extinct according to the Jedi, they weren't. It was just Darth Bane who put in the rule of 2, so it looked like they went extinct. But they were really just in the shadows, hiding away. Mike, if Osha is the Acolyte, then Chimere is the apprentice of the Sith, Plagueis. That's what I thought too. That's what I would have believed it to be. I thought that Plagueis was the master, Chimere was the apprentice, Osha was the Acolyte, and that was it. But then it was brought to my attention in the Discord that not only has Leslie Headland, but also Manny Jacinto have said that Plagueis has no connection to Chimere. And if that truly is the case, then the Plagueis we see at the end of The Acolyte is not a Plagueis watching over his apprentice. He's a Plagueis looking for an apprentice to overthrow his master. Now that's just full-on speculation. I like your way better, Fearless. I really, really do. That's what's going on. But it would kind of make sense the other way if you really think about it. Yeah. Hodges says, Yoda knew about the rule of 2. Stop thinking like there was no Sith at all. Doesn't make sense. That's true. That's true. How does Yoda know about the rule of 2? Oh, well, he goes and talks to Darth Bane, doesn't he? Yeah. But Kiadi-Mundi was there and wasn't supposed to be born yet. Again, legends. This is my favorite thing ever. If I can find it, actually. I don't even know if I can find it. Fearless, shout out to Fearless, sent this to the Discord the other day. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it now because the Discord is so popping recently and I love it. But I'm not going to be able to find it. Shnikes. Let's see. Scroll. It's George Lucas's take on Legends, and it's a telling one. What the frack? Oh, here it is. I found it. All right. George Lucas's take on Star Wars Expanded Universe, or, as we call it today, Legends. Question. What do you think of the expanded universe of books? This was asked to George Lucas in 2003. The books are in a different universe. I have not read any of them, and I told them when they started writing I would not read any of them, and I blocked out certain periods that they couldn't touch, like the original trilogy. So they can write anything after the original trilogy, but it's a completely different universe, and none of it means anything to George Lucas. And the same people who say that everything George Lucas says is gospel are the same people who are saying that Legends is also the same, and that's clearly not the case. Both can't be true at the same time. Yeah. So if you see Legends as your headcanon, then yes, that would be a retcon technically. But to George Lucas and to myself, not even close. Indeed. So, going back to all of this, this is far more important than anybody really is giving it credit for. 2.7 billion views. Yes, it sounds like a lot, or minutes watched, sorry. It sounds like a lot, and it is. It's definitely a lot. It's the second most viewed show on Disney Plus in 2024, the entire year, beating out all the old seasons of The Mandalorian, beating out the new seasons of stuff like The Bad Batch, beating out all the Marvel shows, all the other shows. The second most watched show on Disney Plus in 2024. That's a big deal. And let's not forget, it was only out from June 4th till the end of the year. That's only 6 months. So it had 6 months to accomplish what Percy Jackson did in an entire 12. Who's to say it's not going to get that 0.3 billion or 300 million more views in the next 6 months, and then it will pass Percy Jackson? It's possible. But even saying that, this shocked a lot of people. Not many people actually thought The Acolyte did this well or got this many views when it was first aired. None of the numbers really released, except for the fact that it wasn't on the Nielsen numbers for a few weeks and all that. That was really talked about because anybody who was looking for something to complain about with this show found it. But nobody wanted to talk about this when it was released. It did a surprisingly better than most people thought. And that gives some fans hope. That absolutely gives fans hope. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. It was canon until George contradicted it. He did work on the Shadow of Empire, Tales of the Jedi, and New Jedi Order. Well, worked with those writers. He did talk to those writers, yes, and maybe even gave them points and all that stuff. But he still says that Legends is not canon. He literally says it's a different universe. Completely different universe. Oh, I can't highlight that. It's just a photo. Yeah. Indeed. There you go. Andre says, only the 6 movies and the Clone Wars really count? I mean, to you. If that's what you want your canon to be, that's perfectly fine. You know? I got nothing against it. You know? Justin brings up a great point. Star Wars is all about hope. And it's almost like so many of these Star Wars fans forget that. You know? When you look at a show like The Acolyte, if you didn't like it, that's perfectly fine. Here's the deal. I don't like Star Wars Visions. My least favorite Star Wars show. Actually, I've never watched Star Wars Resistance, so maybe that is, but I've never seen it, so I don't know. But I'm not a big fan of Star Wars Visions. Visions Season 3 or Volume 3 comes out this year. I'm not excited about it. If you like Star Wars Visions, I'm never going to come to you and be like, you're an idiot. You know what? You're stupid. If you like this show, you're not a true Star Wars fan. Do you know how crazy I just sounded right there? Even in my own head, I knew what I was saying sounded absolutely insane. And yet, every day for the last, 6, 7, 8, 9 months, I've gotten comments like that on all my posts. Now, I've completely blanked them out. I don't care. I really don't. But a lot of people who are just trying to have fun with Star Wars, I get it. I have a big platform, so I get the hate. I don't care about it. But to the people who love this stuff and go into comment sections about how much they love it, and then somebody comes to them and goes, oh, you like The Acolyte? You like this? You like that? You're not a true Star Wars fan. You call yourself a Star Wars fan and you like that? Like, what are you talking about? Why can't somebody like something you don't like and you just go on with your day? So that's sort of the argument that I have with The Acolyte. I absolutely love The Acolyte. If people didn't like it, who cares? I believe there's enough people who really want to see more of those stories to warrant a second season. Now, maybe you disagree. Maybe the divide in the Star Wars fandom would disagree as well. And I see that. And I would say that the cancellation of The Acolyte, like I mentioned before, was probably the right move. However, would I ever say, don't make a volume 3 of Star Wars Visions? Would I ever say, stop making another Star Wars show that I didn't like? No. I hope all the people who love Star Wars Visions out there are getting hyped the fuck up for volume 3. I hope they are. It's not going to change how I feel. Like, it's not going to do anything at all. So for all those millions and billions of Star Wars fans who want to see more of The Acolyte, give it to them. And why does everybody else care so much? I'd rather see a second season of Skeleton Crew than The Acolyte, though. I'd like both. For me, I'd way rather like The Acolyte Season 2 than Skeleton Crew Season 2. And honestly, a lot of that's just because of how each show ended. The Acolyte with so many open-ended questions and stuff that needs to be answered and stuff that looks like it has an answer, like Chimere and Venestra's backstory, of course, the Plagueis and Chimere stuff, all that. It has stuff that needs to be answered. It was a cliffhanger to an extended story. Skeleton Crew really wasn't. You know, when you look at it, the ending, it was sort of a happy ending. The pirates all die. Jod gets captured, or at least we are led to believe he gets captured. The New Republic arrives, saves Atten, and it didn't really set up a story to continue. Do I think we'll see those kids again? Yes. Do I think we'll see Jod again? Yes. Will it be in a Skeleton Crew Season 2, though? I'm not too sure. I could see them easily greenlighting Skeleton Crew Season 2. Star Wars Celebration comes. They're like, we're going to do a Skeleton Crew Season 2. And everybody goes crazy. I'll be hyped up. But I could also see them not doing that. I could see these characters showing up in maybe the Mandoverse movies, or maybe even Wim or somebody going off to Luke's Jedi Temple because Wim now has a lightsaber. I could see many different variations of how they could go about this. Jod being a villain, maybe working with Thrawn, or somehow being freed from the prison of the New Republic. I don't know. But I think, to me, the Acolyte has so much more potential for a second season than the Skeleton Crew show does. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Clearly, Andre's not getting the message. I think you're confusing opinion with fact. The fact is that George Lucas for George, only the original 6 count. Did you ask him? Skeleton Crew seems to be more like a movie or a limited series. Yeah, it does. It seems to have a beginning, middle, and end. And the end was great, but it does seem to be like an end. Star Wars Order, what's up? Yeah. Acolyte is doing Darth Bane's story. It rhymes. Not really. I mean, Darth Bane's story is far more advanced than the Acolyte story was. It's a lot more. I mean, he ended the Sith order and turned it into a rule of 2, which is pretty wild, yeah. What if there's going to be a Tales of the Jedi Season 2? I definitely see there being more of Tales of the Jedi. It seems like they've set themselves up for a lot more stories in that world. You got the Bale and Skull backstory that you can do in Tales Season 2. You got now Jod that you could possibly do in Tales of the Jedi Season 2. There's a ton of Jedi that need more exploration. Grogu, what happened to him after Order 66. Cal Kestis even. Like, there's a ton of Jedi that need more story filled out in Tales. But you could also do Tales of something else. They already did Tales of the Empire. You could do Tales of the Bounty Hunters, Tales of the Droids, Tales of whatever. Tales of the Republic. I don't know. But I definitely think we'll be getting more Tales stories. It's a quick, easy, or not quick and easy, but it's short episodes. Yeah. And people seem to love them. People seem to love it. Mr. Slash X says, I don't need a Skeleton Crew Season 2, but I do want their stories to continue, like Rebels and Ahsoka. Yes, that's actually the perfect example. Rebels, and now it's 4 seasons, but let's just call it one big season for the sake of the argument. Rebels, as a show, introduces all these characters, and you fall in love with these characters, and now you have these connections to these characters. When they show up in Ahsoka, it's a completely different story, or it's kind of an extension of the story, but it's a completely different story, and now those characters are in live action. I think the same will happen with Skeleton Crew. You'll see these characters eventually somewhere else, maybe in the movies or whatever. Atten maybe will play a big role in the future of what Thrawn's doing, what the New Republic are doing, what the First Order is going to be doing. And then we'll look back on Skeleton Crew like the origin story for these characters, much like Rebels is looked back on as an origin story for those characters that eventually come into live action, now in Ahsoka and probably in future projects going forward. Yeah. Peter says, Darth Bane trilogy of books as movies would be great. Yeah. Any sort of live action adaptation of those books would be great. Honestly, the problem that I have with it is when they bring in Legends content now, they usually alter it a little bit at least, to tell the story with canon. Would they alter the Darth Bane trilogy or just tell the story verbatim, like the exact story that's on the pages, and just bring it into the live action? You know? I don't know. I'd love to see a Darth Bane trilogy, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if they changed a few things here and there to maybe stick with the canon lore, or I don't even know. But I'm sure fans would not be very excited about that. Tales of the Pirates, ooh, that would be pretty cool. Because now you could do Tack Rented. That'd be awesome. Yeah. I don't know who else, though. Tales of the Sith, obviously, is a good one. I mean, you could do Chimere now. You could do Plagueis. You could do Palpatine. Palpatine training with Plagueis. Like Palpatine as a Padawan would be great. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Thrawn would be all over at Atten. I hope so. I hope Thrawn is sort of going to take the money that's given to him there. Yeah, that'd be nice. Agnes, what's up? Says I like the way old Star Wars did it without well-known stars coming into the shows or movies. The originals were charming because of the geeky bad acting. Okay, interesting. Bad acting, you say? Well, I agree with you that having people who are lesser known in the movies is better. I think you can have some A-list actors in the movies, and that's always been the case since the beginning. Yes, you have your Mark Hamills, Carrie Fishers, and Harrison Fords, who are now household names, but when they first graced the screen in A New Hope, they were nobodies. They were nobody actors. They'd never done anything else big, at least before it. They've probably done smaller stuff, but nothing big. And they were nobodies. But you still had massive actors like an Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan's not a main character of A New Hope, but or not the main character, but he's a main character. And he was one of the biggest actors on the planet at that time. So there's a mix of both. In Henry Cavill, or Ryan Gosling even, but Henry Cavill coming over to Star Wars and playing a villain in a possible upcoming movie. The villain, of course, is a main character, but the main heroes could still be nobodies. They could still just be nobody actors that we've never heard of. And maybe Henry Cavill is just a big name that draws attention, like Skeleton Crew just did. The main 4 kid actors are nobodies. Never heard of them before. Obviously, they're kids, but we never heard of them before. And Jude Law is this massive actor. Everybody knows who Jude Law is, or for the most part, everybody knows who Jude Law is. And he's the villain of the show. And that works. You have one big tie, you have one big pull, and then the rest of the way, you're going, like, we came into this show because Jude Law was in it. It was a pirate show, a cool adventure with these kids. It was going to be awesome. Mandoverse, cool. But Jude Law was the pull. Everybody went, Jude Law in Star Wars? Let's go. But after you watch the entire show, yes, Jude Law was great, but the kids steal the show. And we had no idea who those kids were going in. And that seems to be the case with all Star Wars projects since the beginning of time with those original 3. And I think they can do the same thing with Henry Cavill. Like, everybody can be a nobody and then go from there. Yeah. I really want Thrawn to show up to Atten. I hope he does. And I hope that's sort of like the beginning of the Mandoverse movies or something like that, because that would be pretty cool. I'd be down with that. I would. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm going to end this poll because it hasn't really changed in a long time, even with more votes coming in. Hasn't really changed much. Freddie, what's up? I'm doing good. How are you? Do you want Henry Cavill to come to Star Wars? 84% of you guys with over 130 votes said yes. And I agree. Yeah. I hope he does. I hope Ryan Gosling does. They don't have to be the stars of the show, but being involved in it is still a big name. Yeah. James Earl Jones didn't come in until the special editions. No, he was the voice of Vader. He was the voice of Vader in the originals. Yeah. Yeah. They used Jude Law well in Skeleton Crew. I didn't like what they did with Carrie-Anne Moss. Oh, in the Acolyte. Yeah, the Acolyte's a weird one. Actually, it's very similar when you think about it to all the other Star Wars that came before. They stacked that skeleton crew the Acolyte cast. Carrie-Anne Moss, of course, from The Matrix, and many other projects, but from The Matrix, Daphne Keane from Logan, the girl from Logan. She wasn't like a big actress, but she was from Logan, which was a $1 billion movie. Now I'm forgetting the names of the people in the cast. The guy who played... I gotta rewatch The Acolyte now. I'm forgetting characters' names. The Meditating Jedi... I can't remember his name. Whatever. They stacked the cast, but your main characters weren't really big time actors. Amidala Steinberg, she was in what? Hunger Games before? Yeah. Squid Games guy. Yeah, he was good. But even him, before Squid Games, he wasn't that big of an actor. But obviously Squid Games was the biggest show on Netflix for a while. But Manny Jacinto. Manny Jacinto has been in stuff before. But this was like his biggest role of his career. Absolutely. Yeah. Henry as a Jedi or Henry as a Sith, though? Okay, let's talk about it. So the rumor is that Henry Cavill is going to be a villain. It's just a rumor. It's just a rumor. But if you were going to have Henry Cavill, if you were in charge of Lucasfilm for the day, and you had to choose if Henry Cavill was going to be a hero or a villain, Jedi or a Sith, bounty hunter or hero, I guess, I don't know. What would you have him be? What role would you put Henry Cavill in? And what time period? Where on the timeline would you put him? Post-sequels, prequels, in Old Republic, Dawn of the Jedi, somewhere in between, like a Mandoverse project, in between the prequels and the originals? Originals and sequels? Where would you put the project, and what character or villain or hero would he play? Yeah. Sith, he'd make a great villain. He would make a great villain. Yeah. Or a badass, jacked bounty hunter. Okay. Villain, and we can kill him and get rid of him faster. Okay. Well, here's the deal. A villain's not usually, especially if it's a trilogy, is not going to be a one-and-done character. Look at Palpatine. He was a 9-and-done character, so you have 9 movies where he's the villain, and you got to live with him for a while. So I'm not saying Henry Cavill is going to be the next Palpatine and be a villain for 9 movies, but it's not necessarily mean that he's going to be killed off in the first one. Yeah. Kip Fisto, what's up? I appreciate it. 200 years in the future, so it doesn't affect anything. Interesting. I like that. He should be a Sith. Tales of the Sith in live action. Interesting. Superman Sith. There you go. New Jedi Order era. Okay. Old Republic. Interesting. Here's the deal. If he's going to be the main villain of a trilogy that Simon Kinberg is writing, I would be perfectly down with him being Darth Bane and that being a Bane trilogy. Imagine they announced that. Imagine. Let's get into our imagination for a second. He's the new owner of Atashi Station. Markups on power converters. Oh my God. Okay. Just imagine. It's April 18th, 19th. No. 20th. They saved it till the end of the weekend to announce this huge project. We're watching the screens because we're not in Japan. Or maybe you are. I don't know. And they bring out Henry Cavill. They bring out Simon Kinberg first onto stage. Are you with me? They bring out Simon Kinberg and Dave Filoni, because why not? And they say, we're writing a new trilogy. Crowd goes crazy. They put up Star Wars Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3 on the screen, and behind them, the place is going wild. New trilogy, let's go. And they say, and it will star as the main villain from Star Wars Legends, Darth Bane. And not only that, Darth Bane will be played by Henry Cavill. It would be insane. It would be absolutely insane. I don't think it will happen, but it would be insane, and I'd be fully down for it. But that it would be the first thing we'd ever do with the Old Republic too, which would be crazy because it's the end of the Old Republic. Darth Bane single-handedly ends the Old Republic era pretty much because of the rule of two being put into place. But starting with the end, it'll be pretty wild. It will be pretty wild. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Henry Cavill could play Mando's brother, a brother that he never knew he had. Ooh, a Mandalorian. That would be interesting. Keanu Reeves versus Henry Cavill? What do you mean? What do you mean? Cavill is Dash Renard? That'd be pretty wild. Yeah. Darth Malgus. Ooh, that'd be kind of cool. Here's the thing. He could play any sort of Sith Lord, big, beefy Sith Lord from the Old Republic, but that would mean you're going to the Old Republic. That's what we're talking about here. Like, that would mean you're going to announce an Old Republic trilogy with Henry Cavill at the helm, or at least as the villain role. You know? Mike, do an impression of Kermit the Frog. I honestly don't know. What does Kermit the Frog say? He's like, I'm Kermit the Frog here. I don't know what Kermit the Frog sounds like. I'm Kermit. I don't know what he sounds like. Henry Cavill is as a buff Gungan. Oh my god, that'd be wild. No, not a Mandalorian. He would never knew that he had a brother. Oh yeah, because he's a foundling. I get you. That'd be wild. That would kind of be a crazy story to throw in last minute here. You know, that'd be pretty wild. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? What? I'm confused. Henry Cavill as a younger Count Dooku? That'd be wild. I'd be down for that. Yeah. You already did a Kermit the Frog earlier, Mike. Your audience cheered. Okay. Okay. Carry On says, I am Kermit the Frog. Okay. Okay. I would like a Tales of the Sith for many reasons. But Tales of the Bounty Hunter would be great too. I'd love both of them, honestly. I'd love both of them. I want to see the Empire Strikes Back Bounty Hunters. Yeah, the whole lineup from the Empire Strikes Back would be cool to see again. That would be cool to see. Can I get some good cups full of orders in the chat, please? Oh. This thing is filled to the top today. Misa going to kick Yusa. True story. True story. All right. Let's see. I think I had one other thing. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about this. Do you guys remember? Give me a one to the chat if you remember this. This is a little, pretty funny, actually. Do you remember the Star Wars Hotel? Do you guys remember the Star Wars Hotel? Can the new owner of A Guy Who Loves Star Wars, Samantha, get on the stream? What? What? You guys done with me already? She's actually not here, so no. No, she cannot. No. Are they opening it back up? No. No. Where's Samantha? She's not here right now. She's not here right now, chat. I know. So lame of her, right? Now, they're not opening it back up, but do you remember it? I wanted to go to the hotel, but it was too pricey for me. Yeah, so they opened up this hotel that had no windows. It was supposed to be like you were on the cruiser, the Halcyon cruiser or whatever it's called. And you were supposed to be living in Star Wars. It was a very immersive experience. But the problem was, it was like $5,000 for a night or 2 nights or something like that. It was crazy expensive, crazy thing, whatever. Obviously, it didn't work. It closed down very, very quickly and lost them a lot of money. I think it cost them $1 billion to make. Yeah. Yeah. So let's just read this. Disney's $1 billion Star Wars hotel is set to be converted into offices for future Walt Disney World projects. So this was the, what the hell? Who is this lady? This was sort of the concept art of the inside of it. You got, obviously, the space outside. You got people inside looking at all these things. It's cool. It's immersive. Whatever. Okay. What is this lady? Can she, like, go away? Okay. Whatever. Those looking for the return of the Star Wars Galactic Cruiser, the $1 billion Star Wars-themed hotel experience that Disney launched on March 1st of 2022 that followed the following September, shows no signs of returning to the galaxy far, far away. According to several sources, including an individual close to the company, the building that formerly housed the immersive adventure located near Disney's Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney's Disney World, it's being converted into offices for Walt Disney's Imagineers, the secretive arm of the company responsible for the theme park's attractions, retail locations, and cruise ships. So it's being turned into office space. This is pretty wild. We're not going to read this whole article. I'm just seeing if there's images of it down here now. So this was this big sort of Star Wars experience. You're supposed to be in the world of Star Wars like this for multiple days, and it bombed. Honestly, something like this would be really cool if done correctly. Being on a spaceship for 2 days or something like that probably wouldn't be that cool. But an immersive thing that maybe was on Tatooine or on Andor or on Hoth or anything like that would be really, really cool. Star Wars Fandom says, Mike, do you have a girlfriend? LOL. Yes, Samantha. She's been on the stream a couple times. Indeed, she has. The chat likes her more than me. I get it. It's fine. Whatever. I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Incorrect.
But yeah, she's not home right now. Okay. Peter says, how they possibly think that consumers would pay $5,000 for 2 nights. It's cheaper than going on a real cruise. What do you mean? Oh, it's cheaper to go on a real cruise. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, it was just too expensive. I mean, that was the end of it. It was too expensive. Nobody wanted to do it. So they had to close it down. Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy. Just turn the channel into Samantha already. Okay. If you... tell Samantha we say hello. I will. I will do that after the stream, okay? I can do that. I can relay a message. If I'm good for anything, I can do that. Damien says, 2K for night was the problem. I would have loved to go. That's true. Plus, there was only one of them. So to get there, I'm sure the wait list was like extremely long. Yeah. They should have turned it into a cantina or a diner. They should have turned it into Dexter Jester's Diner. What? That would have been sick. Or just turn it into like a ride or something. Like they spent all this money, they could have turned it into something else. Yeah. Tell her to teach you Rainbow Connections. What the hell is Rainbow Connections? What is Rainbow Connections, chat? Do I have to look this up? Rainbow Connections. Kermit the Frog from the Muppet movie. I actually might know what this is, chat. I might not. I might actually know. Hang on. Is this a song that's like la da 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 da? Is that it? It's like the chicken and me. Da, 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 da. Yeah? Is that it? Is that the song? It's Kermit's song. Okay. Do you like Minecraft, Mike? I mean, I've played Minecraft quite a bit in my lifetime, yes. Not recently, though. Why? Do you like Minecraft? Does your girlfriend have a YouTube channel? No. She should get on that, though. Mike, for the love of God. What? What? So I don't know your rainbow song. Okay. Oh, yeah. Let's do the giveaway. Sorry. I almost forgot to do the giveaway. Hold up. Let's do the giveaway. All right. So if you are not yet a member, this is your last chance to become a member and steal this away from one of our great members right now. Commander Cody helmet. It's a life-size helmet. Obviously fits on your head. It's a lot like this Boba Fett one that's sitting right next to me here from Art Sabers. Very, very good company. Very high quality. Very, very nice. So if you want this, you got to become a member right now. Link is in the description below. To become a member of the people who love Star Wars, go join it immediately. How do you win? Okay, we're going to spin. Let me explain that. That's a good question, actually. For those of you who are new members, we have this number wheel, okay? So this is wheel full of numbers. Right now it's at 76, but it's going to change. And I'm going to spin this wheel. And it's completely fair. And it will spin, and it'll stop on one number, and that number wins. So I'm going to pull up the list of members on the channel. Pull up this list of members. We are at 90 members. Okay, so we're at exactly 90 members. So from 0 to 90. Oh, wait, this is 86. Why did it say 90 up there? Oh, maybe we're at 86. Holy long list. Is it 86 or 90? Is this thing lying to me? Okay. I guess it's... I'm going to refresh this. Something is lying. See, that says 90. What? Oh, wait, what? Maybe because they're gifted memberships? I don't know if the gifted memberships get a chance to win here. No, they do. Wait, what? I'm lost. Okay. It says 86. So I think we're going to go with 86. So if you see your name on this list, whoops. It keeps lagging for some reason. I'm going to refresh the page again. Okay. Why? Stop doing that. Let me scroll to the bottom of the list. Okay. There we go. If you... chat, I'm going to lose it. If you see your name on this list, all the way from Cat... Why? Why are you doing this? All right, fine. From all the way from the top, from Tiffany, Honey Badger, all you guys, this is the top. This is number 86. I don't know why it's doing this, but 86, all the way down. If you see your name anywhere on it, chat, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. All the way down to Cat's Paw. Cat's Paw at number 1. All right, you get the gist. What number are you? I don't know. You're one of the numbers. You're towards the top. So I'd guess like in the high 70s. I'm not too sure. All right. So I don't know why it's not letting me scroll down. Oh, see, it just goes right back to the top. Ready? Back to the top. Ready? Back to the top. Why is it doing that? I don't know. But so it says 86 right here. So we're going to do 86. I don't know why the other number says 90. Oh, maybe because there's 4 gifted memberships and they don't count, but I don't know. We'll go 86. So 86 is the number. All right. You have a 1 in 86 chance of winning the Commander Cody. Where is it? Commander Cody helmet. Let's spin the wheel. Spin that wheel. Here we go. Wow, a really low number. 4. Okay, hang on. 4 is a real OG. Hang on. If I can get to 4 without it going back to the top. Stay there. Cat's Paws 1. John Groups. No! Oh. No. Cat's Paws 1. John Grooms 2. Cole Reed is 3. Son of a nutcracker. And number 4. Jessica. Is Jessica in the chat today? I don't think she is. But Jessica. Oh my God. Jessica. Holy crap. I'm closing it. I'm closing it. Oh, Jessica, let me write that down. Jessica won the Commander Cody helmet. Jessica won Commander Cody helmet. All right. Perfect. I don't know why it was being that lame, but there you have it. I don't know what the hell that was all about, but Jessica, congratulations. I don't think she's here right now, but that's okay. Hit me up on DMs on Instagram, on Discord, on Twitter, wherever you got. I will get you that as soon as possible, as soon as you reach out to me. Mike, your sort is wrong? What are you talking about? Okay. All right. Where were we, chat? Mine was gifted last month, and now I saw my name. Now I'm fully paid up. What? So you're on there? Do you collect any Black Series figures? No, not really. I mean, I've gotten some just from as like gifts sometimes, I guess. None of them are behind me. Yeah, none of them are behind me. But yeah, no, not really. Maggie, what's up? Yeah. Okay. We were at where, Samantha? Oh, okay. Yeah. I like the hot toys. Hot toys are cool, for sure. They'll start to add up, you know? Start to add up for sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. I was just reading something, sorry. So, from the Acolyte Season 2 to, of course, these rumors of Henry Cavill coming out, we've talked about quite a bit. But we still have to talk about the fact that Andor Season 2 is in less than 3 months. Yeah, less than 3 months. April 22nd, 2025 is when that show premieres. And it's going to be 12 episodes, just like the first season. It's going to tell the 5 years of a story from the rebellion of Cassian Andor. But what we know about this second season is kind of a lot. When you think about K2SO coming back, Krennic coming back, we know it's going to lead directly into Rogue One, and how in Rogue One, Cassian knows about Galen Erso, doesn't really know about the Death Star yet, but he knows a lot of information that he doesn't know at the end of Andor Season 1. So I think a lot has to be explored and explained in Andor Season 2 with not a lot of time to do so. Obviously, every 3-episode arc is going to be a new year in the timeline, but I think Season 2 has the opportunity, and I think it will, but has the opportunity to be better than Season 1. Now, I'm very interested to see where you guys are at for Andor Season 2. On a hype level, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Andor Season 2? Because it's very interesting to me. Andor Season 1, I feel like many people forgot how crapped on it was at the time. People really didn't like the show. Obviously, there was people who really did, like I'm sure many of you guys. But the majority of the Star Wars fandom, or at least a lot of the Star Wars fandom, maybe not the majority, but even still, didn't like it. It's one of the least viewed shows from Disney Plus. It was getting called Andor. People were complaining about the AK-47s looking, or the blasters not looking like blasters, looking like AK-47s. They're complaining about all these different things. And yet people almost forget about that. And my sort of concern, I guess, is that all that will come flooding back once Andor Season 2 comes out. That it will be considered Andor Part 2. People will start crapping on the show all over again. But that's the concern. So please tell me in the chat, how excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10 for this Andor Season 2? 11 out of 10, wow. 54 out of 10, okay. 10, 9, 10, 10, 5, 7, 11, 8, 8.5, solid 9.39, nice. 9, need to rewatch the first season, nice. Never got into it, maybe someday, definitely watch it. Definitely watch it. 20 out of 10, nice. Yeah. But I still think the majority of people like the show. I agree with you that the majority of people who watched the show liked the show. But the problem is, much like The Acolyte, is nobody watched it. Or not nobody, but you know what I mean. Not a lot of people watched it. Not a lot of people in comparison to, like, say, The Mandalorian or Kenobi even. I got my dad into Andor recently. I can't wait to watch Season 2 with him. That's awesome. That is awesome. I don't feel the hype yet. I don't feel the hype yet either for the, like, in the fandom or anything like that. I feel like people aren't, they're not going crazy about it just yet. And I think the reason for that is because it's still 3 months away. It's still a pretty good distance away that people haven't had the ability to get hype. Plus, there isn't a trailer yet. So, yeah. My most anticipated show since Mando Season 2. Wow, that's pretty high. Yeah. Nice. I wonder if there's someone somewhere who has the name Andor. That's pretty funny. Where's the trailer? Okay, we can talk about when the trailer might come. When we look at shows in the past, you look at their trailer release dates, it's usually, well, the teaser trailer is usually months and months in advance. And then the actual official trailer doesn't really come until like maybe a month to 2 months before. When you look at like Skeleton Crew, the teaser or the official teaser or whatever it was called for that came out in August. And that show didn't come out till December. Then we got another, or maybe it was September. But then we got another one later on in October, end of October, maybe early November. But like August, you got August, September, October, November, December. That's almost 5 months apart. We got 3 months till Andor. And we still got, it was September. So even still, 4 months. We got 3 months till Andor and still no teaser trailer. So when is that coming? Some people think it might come during the Super Bowl, which would be kind of crazy. I don't think so. I mean, I'd be shocked if it was. But when do you guys think this trailer is going to drop? Like a teaser trailer. We haven't had our teaser trailer for Andor yet. We got a tiny clip of it in what to look forward to for 2025. But that's it. That's it. Oh, Kit Fisto. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Welcome back to the people who love Star Wars. Kit Fisto at the Padawan level. I appreciate that quite a bit. Says, sorry, Mike, I didn't know what happened. It didn't. I just renewed my membership. Don't worry about it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah. Super Bowl will have something. They always play a Star Wars trailer if they have one. what was the last Super Bowl where they would have had a Star Wars trailer? Maybe Mando season 3? I'm not too sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a sports person. I am, but like this Super Bowl, I'm really just watching for the commercials anyway. Yeah. The Super Bowl is when? It's in about 1.5 weeks, I guess. It's not this weekend, but it's the weekend following. Yeah. Yeah. Indeed. At Star Wars Celebration. Well, Star Wars Celebration is definitely not going to be when the first trailer releases, because that Star Wars Celebration is 4 days before the release of the show. So yes, Celebration is going to focus a lot on Andor season 2. It's not going to be when we get the first trailer, because that would only mean 4 days until the show airs. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think the hype level for Andor will grow quite a bit when they finally drop that first trailer, but I don't know when that's going to happen. It honestly doesn't seem like something that's going to happen anytime soon, which I guess is a little bit concerning, but the hype level will grow quite a bit. Right now, we're sort of in this sweet spot of time where we're getting crazy news like Ryan Gosling coming to Star Wars, Henry Cavill coming to Star Wars, Natalie Portman coming back, Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, Ariana Greenblatt coming back. We're in this weird sort of speculation, crazy rumor release time period. The last 2 weeks have been insane for Star Wars news, but at some point that's going to stop. And when that stops, that's sort of when the Andor season 2 hype is going to start to grow. When they purposefully are doing this. They want the conversation of Star Wars to continue forever. So when there's no Star Wars content being released and no marketing going on for the next Star Wars content, that's when these leaks and reports come out. It's not a coincidence. Obviously, they're doing it on purpose to get people's reactions, to get people talking about Star Wars again and all that stuff. So I certainly hope that once this sort of news runs out, within the next couple weeks even, we could get an Andor season 2 trailer and the hype for that show can start to grow. Yeah. Didn't they have a trailer for Ahsoka during the Super Bowl? Did they? That would have been very early on because Ahsoka didn't come out until August. Yeah. Yeah. True. Rebel Sith, what's up? We were talking about you earlier. Henry Cavill as a villain would be great. Maybe be like a Balin Skull type. That'd be cool. That'd be wild. According to Deadline, Disney has reserved slots for two out of 3 for Marvel 2025, Captain America's Brave New World and Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four. And Disney could unveil Elio's Pizza? What? So you're saying that there's an open slot for Star Wars or no? It's crazy because it costs like, what is it, $5 million or something like that for a 30-second spot for the Super Bowl? And they're getting 3 of them. The Acolyte had potential for sure. A new writer and new showrunner to do the Stranger story could happen in the rivalry between the false Sith and the true Sith. That'd be interesting. Yeah. We got a Mando Season 3 trailer during the Super Bowl. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So if we got a Mando Season 3 trailer during the Super Bowl, and I believe Mando Season 3 had a very similar release date to Andor. It might have been March, actually. But even still, March, April, same thing. So maybe we could get an Andor Season 2 trailer during the Super Bowl. That'd be wild. That'd be pretty cool. Elio's Pizza is an animated movie, and it's 8 million years old. What? What? You lost me there. Elio's Pizza is a new Pixar movie. Oh, cool. Does it taste as good as the pizza? Do you guys know what Elio's Pizza is? Am I? Is this like something that people don't know, or what's going on here, Chad? Okay. Even with that, I do have to get on out of here. I got to go finish up a short that can post today. If you have not already, go check out the podcast with me and Jedi podcast. Sorry, hang on. Star Wars Jedi podcast. Let me pull it up so I can. Actually, let me put the link in the description. So if you want to keep watching more, watch this. Share, copy link. Go watch this video where we had this awesome conversation about the Acolyte, about Andor Season 2. We talked about a bunch of stuff, but it was pretty fun. I went into a lot of detail, actually, about my journey in creating the channel and stuff like that. So if you want to hear more about that, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. So go check that out. The future of the Acolyte has been announced. What are you talking about? Well, there's already prequel books coming out. You know? And yeah, go check out Star Wars Jedi podcast, of course. Go subscribe to them. They're pretty awesome. 2 guys over there. So go check that out. And yeah. Smash a freaking like in the stream if you have not already. How many likes do we have, chat? Am I going to be upset? How many likes do we have? Smash a freaking like in the stream if you have not already. Hit that subscribe and hit that bell to get notified every time I post a video. And my pretty face will show up on the recommended feed of yours. Huge shout out to Kid Fisto for becoming a member again, and Darth Plagueis Liz for the very generous super chat. I appreciate it. But until next time, watch out for shorts every day, of course, and some videos too. Working on a what if. Members. We were doing our first ever members only live stream this weekend. I think it's going to be Sunday. If not, like Sunday afternoon, maybe. If not, then I'll just tell you guys in the Discord. But yeah, members only live stream. We're going to start a watch party of Andor Season 1, Episode 1 this weekend. And we're going to watch Andor every single week with the members until Season 2 airs. So we'll get a lot of hype up in there. Okay. Smash a freaking like on the stream, hit subscribe, and hit that bell to get notified every time I post a video in my pretty face. Show up the recommended feed of yours. And until then, may the Force be with you. Always. Oh yeah, what a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate you all so much more than you will ever know. I am so hungry right now. I'm going to go eat everything in my kitchen. Okay. But until then, I also have to finish this short first, damn it. Okay. Until then, I hope you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your lives, and good night, everybody.